Well, hello everybody. Danny and Wanda back from Deepsouth Homestead. I've been out working here on the place, and Miss Wanda's been here in her high tunnel. I came over here to see what was going on, and she has got a big plan for this high tunnel. She has determined that she's cleaning both outside beds on this high tunnel up, and we're planting sweet potatoes in both outside beds because we're letting all the rest of the land rest. The high tunnels are not going to rest, let's say that. They're going to continue to produce for us. But while she was getting the soil ready, we noticed a couple of things. Now, this is why we chose to go with the Vego raised beds. Okay, I'm going to explain something to you here, and I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. This soil right here, on this side, you can look at it. It's very rich. It's got moisture in it. It looks really good. It's on the outside edge of the high tunnel here.
And I haven't watered it once since Christmas.
Yeah, one time since Christmas. And it's still moist, good rich soil right there. Now move over to one of these middle beds here. And I want you to look at this. This is nothing but powder. See the dust? It's just powder. I don't care how deep you dig. It's just powder. Okay.
And how tall are these beds?
These beds are 11 inches, or 10 inches, I'm sorry. They're 10 inches. And that's why we went with the 17-inch deep Vego raised beds, because 11 inches here just is not enough dirt or soil to hold enough moisture to do what we need to do. Now this has vermiculite in it. It has perlite mixed in with it. It has all that stuff mixed in with it. You could, if the soil wasn't so dry and it was darker, you could see the little white pieces all in it. Because I dumped several bags in this trying to make it work, and it's just, it needs to be irrigated on a daily basis. This out here, the moisture comes down the plastic on the outside out here when it rains and goes underground right here. And these outside beds stay plenty moist. So we're going to use both outside beds to grow our sweet potatoes in here. Probably in both high tunnels eventually. So that we can keep the deer from eating them up. But now while Ms. Wanda was digging here, she's taking up her onions there, because they've been growing here and they are not doing like they should in this high tunnel. It's just too warm in here for those onions. She started pulling these up. Now, many of y'all may not know what this is. This is a type of sorrel. The leaf on it there, this is a type of sorrel. These little roots right here, these things break off like that. Every one of them grows another sorrel. These things literally are taking over in here because they're just, they're so prolific. And also while she was doing that, look what she found right here. Look at these purple potatoes. Now this is a Purple Majesties because that's all we've grown for the last several years. I don't know what her plans are. Are we going to eat these or?
Probably replant.
Oh, going to replant them? Okay. Because we really don't have many Purple Majesties left, and she's probably just going to use these because these are starting to, the eyes are starting to pop on them a little bit right here.
So I've overwintered them.
Yep, they overwintered in the high tunnel, done just fine under the soil.
That's what I wanted, was to have some to plant.
Okay, now we have found something here.
It goes back in the soil if you don't keep.
Uh-oh, I didn't, I'm sorry, hold on a minute here.
Right here.
Okay, here he is. Now this is I'm going to call it a cutworm or an armyworm. It has the markings of a cutworm, and it also has the markings of an armyworm. These things get in the soil here, and they come out at night, and these onions, they'll cut them off, they'll eat the whole, they'll climb up on this plant here, and they'll eat that whole onion down, all the way down. They don't necessarily just cut it off, they climb up on it, and they begin to eat it all the way down. They also do that with your plants. They crawl up on your plants and they start eating the leaves off of them and all, which makes me believe it's more of the armyworm than it is the cutworm, because an armyworm will curl up just like this. He's in hibernation right now. He'll curl up just like this, just like a cutworm will. And when Miss Wanda finds them, she is destroying them as she finds them. But now we have found something else here as she's went through this. Now, I don't know what this is yet. I don't know if this is the larva of these worms, or if this is the larva of some other insect that she's finding in here. We got to do some research on that. Maybe some of y'all might know. If you do, you can leave it in the comments down below what you think it is. We really got to look into this, because she's done found 4 of them just right here in this little small section of bed right here.
Actually, about 10 of them, and I've done killed 6.
Okay, well, I wasn't in here. So she's killed 10, and she kept 4 of them out for me to see. So we'll be mashing these as we go along through here. But now, we have our sweet potatoes here, and they are beginning to put the little slips up on them. So Ms. Wanda's going to pick a place here, I'm pretty sure, and she's going to bury all these so we can get our slips right here. Now, these few right here,
2 different brands,
2 different varieties, will make enough slips for us to plant both of these high tunnels. So it don't take a lot of taters to do that. And these are ice cold. They come out of the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me dispatch of these right quick. We don't need them anymore.
No. They need to go away.
They need. Ooh, that's a tough worm. He was tough. And we got chickens, and I'm not walking out the chicken pen, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Okay.
Right. Make sure you keep them separate.
I'm going to keep them separate. We're going to just do what? And that, ooh, the dirt's cold, too. Oh, look at there.
There's another one.
There's another one right there. I got a feeling we got a problem here. We're going to have to address. We got to figure out what these are.
Yep.
Now, I do see the time-release fertilizer that's still in here from last year. Now, whether it has any benefit to it now or not, I don't know. But we do use some time-release fertilizers when we're growing things occasionally. Now, here we go. This is what I do right here. Guys, that's all they are to planting a sweet potato for slips. Now, you just cover this back up. Good loose dirt or soil, whatever terminology you want to use there.
And do not wet it too much.
Nope, don't wet it. Don't wet it till after the slips actually protrude through the ground. Now, I'll make mine up on a little mound like this so that I'll know exactly where I put them at. And then I'll come back right here. We're going to dig another.
Look how pretty that dirt is.
Ooh, yeah. And you can see the perlite, vermiculite, and all that in this. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do exactly the same thing here. We're going to stick one here, there, there, and there. And then we're just going to come back. We're going to rake some dirt over it. We're going to kind of mound it up a little bit so we know exactly where it's at. And we're going to leave it alone. Now, because this soil has a little bit of moisture in it, now if I was putting them over here, I would put some moisture to them. But over here, this is damp enough that it's not going to matter. It'll be just fine. We won't have to worry about it. And we'll be able to come out here, we'll break these slips off as they start growing, and we'll just start filling in the beds with them all down through here. And I'm just guessing. Now I'm brought in on this, guys, so this is Miss Wanda's job. I've been out working with the cows and everything, cleaning up. So I'm guessing that she's going to continue to clean that sorrel up down through yonder, because it has taken over. I mean, you look at that. Look how much of it they are.
Sorrel and a variety of other stuff.
Well, you have wood sorrel and another type of sorrel. There's actually 2 different types there. And then you've got, I don't actually know what this stuff here is, but we pull it up by the roots. It's just a weeds, all we know. I don't really pay that much attention to it. But this stuff, what it does, this puts on runners. These things,
seeds.
and seeds everywhere. See, it connects through runners. It comes up. It's very prolific. Got lots of roots, lots of runners, and seeds all over the top of it. It puts a little pod on. There's one right there that looks just like okra when it's green. Now, sorrel is not a bad thing. It's high in vitamin C. A lot of people eat this stuff. We've got more than what we know what to do with. We don't need to eat it. That's a little piece of an onion. Now, Miss Wanda has this. I call it the claw. I don't know exactly what the name is of it. We got that in a. It's called a cobra head. We get that in a Homestead box?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that's where we got that from. Back when Hoss Tool was doing Homestead boxes.
One of the handiest things for in this loose soil.
Yeah, I mean, it really, you take, that's, what, 6 inches right there, and it goes, and I'm going down further than that. So we're probably going down about 8 inches down there. Maybe 10 inches in a lot of places. And it just grabs and it breaks up.
It's easier to pull the weeds when you break it up like that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about it. You break this ground up like this.
Now there's some onions there.
Yeah, and you come in here, you can see these onions right here. Now they froze in here this year, and that has a lot to do with them being the way they are. But that's our old multiplying onions there. But see, you can shake the dirt off the roots of them really easy when you do this. And what you end up with is just beautiful, beautiful soil. Now, I haven't found any more of those larvas right here.
I only found a few in one spot down there.
That makes me wonder, did something just lay them
in that one spot?
In that one spot right there. There's an old potato right there. Because that's the first thing I was looking for while I was digging here, and I did not see any.
They were only in that one spot.
Look how black some of our soil is here. This is soil that we dug out of the bottom of the holler down here when we were digging the pond. Look at the difference of the color on top of that right there. This come out of that holler down when we dug the pond. Now, we tested this old black dirt. We've had to add a lot of lime in here because this tested to have a pH of 5.5, which is way too low for growing. Now, it's great for growing potatoes, but it's not for growing other vegetables. Sweet potatoes and all that really needs a 6.8.
And all this will be amended before we...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We start putting the slips in, but we've got, what, 6 weeks before slips will be ready?
Yeah, probably that, yes. But you don't wait till you get ready to put your slips in to get your soil ready.
Nope, that's why I'm cleaning today.
Now you get the soil ready today. Way ahead of time. So your amendments have time to actually start working. That's what most people don't understand. They try to go organic. And there's nothing wrong with that. We go organic as much as we can. But like I've told y'all before, organic fertilizers, when you use stuff like bone meal and blood meal and all that type of stuff, you get about, up front, you get about 8%. And some plants can't make it on 8% up front. They got to have more than that. It takes about 4 months for the rest of it to break down in the soil where the plant can usually take it up. And in 4 months, most plants are over with, especially garden vegetables. So you need to be able to do it way ahead of time. We're doing this now. We'll put our amendments in here. These sweet potatoes are about 125 days. So if it's going to be another, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks before we actually get good slips to put in the ground, then the initial part of the nitrogen and the phosphorus will be in the soil to be readily available. And then the rest of it will begin to break down over the next 4-month period. By the time the sweet potatoes are really ready to be kicking it, then the amendments will be there for them. And I do keep hitting a root occasionally here. You see this right here? You know where that root come from?
Not sure.
I can look at it and tell you what it is.
It's orange.
No. It's a fig tree.
Our fig tree out there is eating our...
That's a fig tree root right there.
Well, it's
That
coming
fig
from
tree-
right outside that door there.
That fig tree is running a good 20 feet across here, coming up in this bed, because I kept noticing I was hitting something.
I kept hitting something. I was wondering where, because
Yeah,
there's no trees outside.
There's no trees around here except that one fig tree there. And when I finally got a full root up where I could look at it, I said, that's a root off of a fig tree. Because fig trees, all their roots grow on the surface of the ground. They don't have any real deep roots except one little tap root that'll run down. But they mainly feed off the surface, and that's why you have to keep them mulched so heavy to make them produce like they're supposed to produce. But now they have discovered, because we let this bed sit here all winter, they have discovered that there's nutrition in this bed. And look at that. The roots is starting to pop up over here. So I can tell Miss Wanda right now, she's going to have her hands full. Look at that. They just keep... They're in here. Yep. Some of these onions didn't make it.
Nope.
These are still good. Some of them didn't make it, some of them did. Look at that. They found a rich spot right here.
I imagine they're on the other side too.
I figure they're going to be on the other side worse than they are this side. That may be why you was having trouble digging up your
Ginger, probably.
Because them fig tree roots is probably growed up all around it in there.
And I think it, like you said, it might be ornamental ginger. I have 4 or 5 different types.
Now that's ornamental. I can look at it
And
and tell you.
I've got to get it out of here, so
Yeah.
it's gonna go away.
Yeah, it's just an ornamental. I'm almost 100. I think it was, did they call it Hawaiian ginger or?
It hadn't put the pine cones on, so I don't know. There's a Hawaiian, there's a pineapple.
Yeah, this one is.
I don't have a shovel in here to get it up, and I don't know if you can pull it up. That
I don't know,
whole clump
that
has
done
got.
rotted off in there.
And see how dry it is?
It's just, yeah, this is pretty.
This is an outside one, but it's going downhill.
Well, it's not only that. That fig tree, I guarantee you, right there,
Zapping
is
the
zapping.
juice.
It's zapping it pretty hard. You've got a bunch of them, rhizomes right here already.
Yeah,
They're starting to sprout.
yeah.
I mean,
It don't smell like ginger.
it don't smell.
That's why I said it's got to be a ornamental type.
It don't have the strong.
No, it don't have.
It has a faint,
Yeah,
but it's not strong.
yeah.
Yeah, ooh, you got your hands. That's a pile of it right there. It's made to grow out in the yard. It's ornamental. I know what it is. It makes a beautiful flower that comes up on it.
Yeah, so it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to have to go somewhere, but you're going to have to have a shovel to do it with. And I don't know if there's one in here. Okay. Guys, I got to get back busy. And Ms. Wanda's got to get busy. Woo. Thank you once again for watching us. Thank you from Deepsouth Homestead.